Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Honestly Podcast, formerly known as So Fired, but should we cut that? Okay, let's try it again.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of... All right, one more time. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Honestly Podcast.
You can just say, honestly.
Honestly, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. So welcome to the Honestly Podcast.
Say, hello, and welcome back to Honestly.
Hello, and welcome back to Honestly. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay.
Yes. We're so honest, you wish we'd lie.
Still working on that intro, but we'll get it nailed down.
But we got a new backdrop.
Yeah, we got a new backdrop. We are going headset free.
Oh, yeah.
So my ears can breathe. And so each week on Honestly, same nonsense, pop culture issues, hot topics. And this week we will be talking about Kelly Ripa. We're going to talk about joint checking accounts.
Oof.
And we'll see where it goes from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your So Fired of the week?
I think it's like an honest to goodness moment.
Yes.
Yeah, because doesn't that sound so wholesome?
Mm-hmm. But you got to say something trashy.
Well, no.
Okay, what do you got?
I took the whole weekend to do literally nothing.
Good for you.
Which I never do. And it was a snow day on Saturday.
That's why my bathroom's clean.
And I didn't even leave the house. It was... I just snuggled up. I watched the show Fallout on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
You might like it. I don't know. It's like futuristic.
If you're high enough, anything
I like
futuristic.
it. So it was just a really, really good time of recovering from a shitty weekend the weekend before. And I feel rejuvenated and rested.
That's wonderful. Good for you. Yeah. I am a doctor. I have a PhD in kicking it at home, getting real cozy and doing nothing. Yeah, I took advantage of that time and cleaned my bathroom.
Oh, so it's spotless.
It was about 6 months, so anything was going to make it better.
Yeah.
Do I have... Oh, yeah, I sure do. So,
an issue?
Whatever. This is just going to lump into both. Okay. So I have been recently hired to do a speaking event at a charity event. What? Isn't that great? Congrats to me. There's going to be 100 people there. They seem to think I can talk for a half hour. Oh, of course I can. Anyway, so I was telling my new friends at all the open mics that I see them about 3 times a week. And they said, Chelsea, I don't think you're ready. I think you should decline.
And I'm like, what a bunch of bullshit.
I was like, what are we doing here if we're not trying to advance ourselves?
Right? It's like, oh, there's an opportunity in front of me and I'm not going to take it. Like, it's so
foreign to me.
It's so foreign to me. I was just appalled. I'm like, why would they be telling you not to try something new and progress through your career as a comic? Like, you're what, just going to do 2-minute sets the rest of your life? Maybe 5 if you're lucky.
Or like maybe hosting an event or hosting an open mic on the weekly basis. Ugh, so annoying.
I know. I'm like, that's not the peak of comedy career.
I was like, how am I going to have a Netflix special in 3 years if I just keep slumming it in Colfax doing these things? While I'm appreciative of their... So it was like, this is horseshit. I was like, and there's not a lot of mentors in that circle. So I am taking the lead. I was like, respectfully, no, this is how you grow, is like stretching yourself. And I was like, I have a month. I promise you I'll be prepared.
Yes.
I can't say prepared because my lips so great. Prepared. So I was proud of myself. I was like, no, I think this is what you're supposed to do.
Maybe on YouTube, record a solo episode. So you can get like 20 to 30 minutes of talking.
For sure. I have a platform.
Yeah.
I bet I can do it. I believe in myself. It's a great place to practice because the lady that engaged my services asked to see a body of my work. And I actually had a couple of things.
So yeah, you're ready when the time comes.
Yeah. June 6th to be exact.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
What else? Do you have any issues?
I guess that was it.
That was it.
I don't know. I don't really have... I'm like kind of at a good clip.
Yeah. I don't really have like anything major. Just shopping for clothes is an issue because we're going on vacation soon. And of course, you want to buy like a couple new things to go on vacation. But it's just like you're buying a piece of shit clothing for $100 that will last maybe a season. And then you wash it a few times and it's like, oh, it's Raggedy Ann. Got to throw it away. But then you go on Amazon, you buy something for $20, might not fit right. Also shitty quality. So then you're just like, I guess I'll wear my old clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not care for it. I went to Zara for an hour yesterday and it just stressed me out.
Right.
Shopping, running errands. It's not my jam.
You just love the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Love running errands.
You know, I know I'm making bad choices.
I know. Like when I go to the mall, the only thing I will buy stuff at Lululemon.
Sure.
That's the one store.
Consistent.
And even like at Nordstrom, I'm like,
Yeah, they kind of gave up. That industry gave up after COVID.
And then I went to Old Navy the other day, priced appropriately at $1.97 on clearance. I'm like, that is definitely worth $1.97.
Yeah.
Like this top that I'm wearing.
The guys at the open mic, so like, we get it. You drive a Range Rover. I was like, it's a 2008. Relax. And they're like, no, and we get it. You're a gold digger. And I was like, okay, well, that's not 100% accurate. So like, let's pump the brakes. Point being, I'm a cheap fuck when it comes to like buying clothes.
Same.
And I'm almost like kind of ashamed by how cheap I am. I'm like, no, even like $50, $60 yesterday. I was like, you get all excited. You're going to buy all these fancy things for your trip, but then you get back, you're never even going to use them.
I know.
And I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Same with like, I was going to buy a whole bunch of new sandals and everything. I'm like,
those you might use.
Like sandals, I will definitely use. It's just like, I don't need 5 pairs all at the same time. Like one at a time. And then I'm going on this trip. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to be on a boat and in the water. And
You
at the
should
pool.
bring that
sunscreen or what?
The shirt that I have
Oh,
that you use.
Yes.
Just to be on the safe
I do
side.
need a sun shirt.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, anyways, that's a state of clothing. It's a sad, sad world out
Not
there.
as sad as Kelly Ripa.
Wait, let me get to our sponsor first
Okay.
before we get to
That's
Kelly Ripa.
that's a good choice.
Yeah. Okay. So our favorite sponsor, Three Spirit, they're back at it again. So whether you want to be the life of the party, because we're partying with the gays tonight, aren't we?
We are. Johnny has invited us and I'm thrilled. I hope that, let's see, there's 2, 4, 6 gay couples. And I have always wanted to be blessed with gay friends.
Well, tonight's the night. We can bring our Three Spirit to liven up the party.
Yeah, I already purchased it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. So to kickstart your night, you can start with a livener. And then when you're finally ready to go nighty-night, you slow sip with the nightcap. So it's designed to enhance your night from start to finish by stimulating your palate, mind, and body. And what is in the Three Spirit drinks? We have active plants, it's non-alcoholic, clean caffeine, and then there's also caffeine-free drinks, vegan and gluten-free, and no artificial flavors. So visit us.threespirits.com. Use code HONESTLY15 for 15% off your entire order.
Fun.
Woo. Okay, tell me about Kelly Ripa. What's up with her?
Mark, what's his last name?
Consuelos?
Admitted that he recently kissed another woman.
No. What? Okay, what's the context? When did it happen?
Zero idea.
What?
I'll go ahead and read it. Does it matter?
Well, yeah, because is this clickbaity where they were on the show and he's like, I have to confess, I kissed another woman.
Fuck, I don't know.
for
I
my
thought it was
job.
enough just to say that. I thought maybe you would know it.
No, I don't know it.
Okay, well,
But like,
this is the worst episode we've ever recorded. Like, not I'm in a bad mood, but like no one wants to hear about our shopping dilemma. And I didn't come prepared about Mark Consuelos.
well, I feel like if he actually kissed another woman and it was cheating on Kelly, I would have heard about it. Yeah. Kelly Ripa like owns People magazine. She's always writing nonsense articles. So I would have
She
seen
seems
it.
like a little, maybe a little bit of a monster.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I mean, she is at the top of her game. She's like the Ryan Seacrest of like daytime TV.
Well, she kicked Ryan Seacrest off the show, and now Mark Consuelos is in his spot.
Because she can manipulate him even more.
Yeah.
It must be difficult to be married to her.
Yeah, like working with her and then going home, and then she has notes for him when he gets home. Like, so today on the show, when you said you kissed another woman, and I didn't know about that to begin with, I'm going to kill you. Take notes.
It's like,
Don't
I'm
do
going to
that.
stay at the apartment on the Upper West Side, okay?
Yeah. I would say it probably was for a job. Where'd you see that?
On Instagram.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. He kissed a fan.
Thank you, our producer.
Thank you. Oh, let me tell you what's going on
Tell me.
in my world.
I can't wait to hear. How do I not know? Oh, I know why. Because now you have a full-time job and we go days without speaking.
I know.
Ugh. Ready.
Okay, so let's see. I've been married for almost 9 years.
Lindsay loves being married.
I love being married.
Especially to your husband. Like, it's not just like, I love having a husband, but like Lindsay loves Austin specifically. Let me clarify.
I do. And like this whole time, you know, I like maintain my independence. I kind of just like do my own thing. And then, you know, we come together.
Ladies.
As ladies should. And this whole time we have had separate checking accounts.
Yikes.
And we created a couple like joint accounts where we put some money in for like whatever. But now the tables are turning on me and I'm getting a joint checking account like for everything. Like my paycheck is going into the same account that his paycheck is going into. And then we're splitting things like kind of 50-50. And ooh, I'm getting like heart palpitations thinking about it. I'm like, oh God, I'm not used to paying for rent. I'm not used to like having my purchases analyzed or just scrutinized. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to Starbucks, you know, a couple times a week. Or like, I'm going to.
You have to live in cash land.
I guess so.
You have to withdraw like, okay, I'm going to let you finish before I like come in hot.
Yeah. So it basically just really threw me for a loop. And he's like, well, why don't you want to share checking accounts? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like that is like one thing of freedom that I just want to maintain. And like, what if like, God forbid, like something happened and like, I just needed to have like my own money or like, I just want to be financially independent and like be able to like do what I want to do with my money. And like, I understand like, yeah, I could definitely like contribute more and like pay some rent and like pay more bills. Like, that's fine. But like, why do I have to have like my purchases scrutinized?
Why do I have to relinquish my independence, my autonomy?
Yeah.
Because you have earned the right to be able to spend money how you choose. Certainly, it's always a great idea if that is how the relationship is structured to be able to contribute.
Yeah. And like, I'm happy to contribute. Like, just ask me to contribute more. And like, I will. Like, I'll just like.
Do you have a spreadsheet? Do you guys go off a spreadsheet?
Oh my God, we're gonna have a spreadsheet.
It might be helpful.
So like actually in preparation of when he told me that we're doing this, I did make a spreadsheet of all my bills and like my monthly expenses. And I'm like, yeah, like this is how much money I can contribute. Like
use it however you like. Like when I went to my Botox lady, I was like, here's $300. Use it wherever
you see fit.
Wherever you deem necessary.
So
I am so angry for you.
I mean,
does he have any idea how this impacts our relationship? Our relationship is solely based on like running errands and spending money on trinkets and coffee. Yeah.
And coffee.
And like, is he going to go? I would be like, do you want to read my journal too?
Yeah.
Do you want to go through my underwear drawer?
Right. And it's not even the fact of like, yeah, like I have like a lot of bills that maybe you don't like know all the things. Like I have credit cards to pay off from my business. I have like business bills to like just to finish paying off, which is fine. Like I don't mind him like seeing that. It's just like the everyday purchases because, you know, you trip and fall the house, you spend $100.
I know.
Like,
everybody knows this. It's
yeah.
like common knowledge.
Yeah. But for somehow he like doesn't do that.
Why are you agreeing to this?
Because I think in the long run, it will be good for us. And
what about you? Why is there not a you representation in this conversation with him?
Well, I think that also for me, it might teach me some discipline to not just like have money and spend it all. Maybe just not that I'm like not going to not spend money, but it's like, oh, maybe I'll just be like a little bit more aware of like,
why can't you just say, oh God, I'm just so fired up.
I don't know. You know what? Maybe like after a couple of months of being like, hey, like this is how much I'm contributing. Okay, now can I have my paycheck back and just like Venmo you the money?
Why don't you start by saying that?
I could, or just I'll transfer the money into the account. There you go.
I feel like if you full up relinquish all independence and like autonomy, you're not going to get it back.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would start slow. You like highball it, or that's really not the right way of saying it, but like, you know, maybe you could contribute more, but let's start slow.
Right. Like, how about I just contribute like $1,000 and then there you go.
Stretch it. Like, do your best to like contribute more instead of like fully on dumping it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
I also feel like it's a little bit of a punishment.
For what? Well, I
It's
think
okay, how about this? It's punitive,
I think that
which might be the same
I
thing.
can understand his frustration because he sees me like going out and like doing things and like
He chooses not to go out.
that's because he's like I pay for everything. So like where's like my money to go out and do things?
That's kind of
Because he pays for everything.
I'm sure there's some money left over.
I'm sure, but I don't know. I think that
Fine, I'll contribute to our fun
our
thing.
fun,
Does that mean we'll go out once a week?
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not the right person to bounce this off of.
Well, I was also asking another girl and she was like, oh no, like we don't share finances.
No.
And then I asked a guy and he's like, yeah, we have a shared credit card. So we put everything on the credit card and pay it off every month.
But that person probably still has their own account.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
get a joint, but not that everything.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like,
It's so cringe.
and I know you like want me to be mad at him, but I'm not.
I want you to speak up for yourself. You don't have to be mad. I don't think mad is productive. I don't, even when you're upset about finances or unexpected bills or a car like breakdown,
Yeah.
I think it's wise, even though you're going to be upset, take a minute, get through it, and then circle back and come up with a game plan like 24 hours later, whether it's with yourself or somebody.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, you're going to lash out. You're going to do like, it's hard to wrap your head around the unexpected expense.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I might do that because like this was kind of like in the midst of an argument. So then the next day it was like, oh, sorry.
I feel like you just kind of roll over and give whatever. You don't have to be mad. I don't think that's productive. Let's
No.
have a sit down conversation and do your best to just say, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm prepared to do.
Yeah.
And if at that point there's still a little disagreement,
Mhm.
you can push in lead. I would not relinquish all of it. I mean, like, what are we talking about? $500, $700, maybe at the most, maybe $500, right? How much do you hope to, like, just funny money?
Oh, well, I'm supposed to give him like $1,200 a month.
And then how much will you have left over, if you don't mind saying?
Like 4.
How much at the end of everything will you be able to like just slush fund?
Probably like another 1,000. So,
which is kind of a lot.
More, yeah, I don't know. I guess like
I would just try and negotiate. Also,
I think I should negotiate. Like, okay, I'm gonna like give you this like $1,200. Put it into savings. Use it for bills. Use it for whatever.
Print
but
out
like
your bank.
yeah.
Print out your bank statement and let him do the numbers.
Yeah.
And then see, and like, I have to pay these bills at the end of the month. This is what I'm allowed. Mm-hmm. So I will contribute if we go out.
Right.
I'll buy to-goes.
Yeah.
Like if you buy takeout.
Yeah, like I'll buy takeout. I'll buy dinner.
I would come with that printed out in some say where it's almost like the contract.
Yeah.
This is what I'm more than happy to contribute, but I need my autonomy and just enough where I don't feel like it's like being parented. It's the implication that you can't be trusted.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
I do. You know, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. And it's like funny because when I ask like a guy, it's like, oh yeah, like we would do a joint checking account. And like girls, I feel like we're just like, no, fuck that. Because we just want our independence.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
We've never had, I don't even know where he banks. I just know I get deposits.
A deposit appears and that's what happens.
It magically appears in my account. But there's a lot of expenses and the same thing. Mm-hmm. He spends so much money. I don't know numbers, but like his hobbies. You mean, i.e. going out drinking 8 nights a week?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we were going to talk about this.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of things in the recent that have, what am I trying to say? I've done a lot of things lately that are hard by other people's perception, like getting on stage and hitting the pavement on the regular. And I'm proud of myself, right? And this is the most confident I may have ever felt in my entire life. Mm-hmm. So he's recognizing that, and he takes me out to dinner, and he's so attentive lately, and like
It's like you're going on dates.
I was like, hey, do you want to take me out for a happy hour? He's like, I would love to. So for 2 hours, he sat there and blew smoke up my ass. He's like, I told Vance Joseph that you're doing this. And the guy practically pulled over on the side of the road and said that is one of the most like courageous things he's ever heard. And he coaches NFL players. And I respected it. Not that it was coming out of his mouth, but the fact that he's a coach. And those are premium, like professional, what are they? Like the best, like they're operating. What am I trying to say? They're like industry leaders, and so well respected, and they work so hard. So from that perspective, when you're in the presence of people working hard, and you can say the same, that was my biggest compliment. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't care for that gentleman. However, now my roommate's like, oh, you're so courageous, and tell your story because your story is pretty fascinating and it's relatable and you say everything funny enough that it's engaged. I was just like, I think this man likes me again. I'm so annoyed. And I'm almost like, he's gonna be like, well, I fear
he's gonna be like, hey,
yes. And I'm like, just like your checking account. I'm like, yeah, hey, you want to party when you come down? Some pants are unzipped and like a peeper, 10%. Girls get raped in their own house. So it was a joke. It's not funny. So people keep saying. So I'm like, oh no, I got a really good thing going. And I don't complicate my life with your,
He's trying to ride to your coattails.
He just wants to be associated with me.
Of course.
So then we're getting ready for his daughter's wedding. And he's like, I think I'm going to tell round is the shape joke. And I was like, heads up, you've already told that joke 3 times at weddings. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all of these people have actually already heard you tell that joke. And I was like, Doug, from professionals, this is an opportunity for you to shine and make another like lasting impression. I was like, I have to come up with new material 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. I really do think. I was like, you've been my mentor and you have taught me a lot of the things I know today. And I was like, I think you can do better.
Oh, now you're blowing smoke up his ass.
No, it wasn't so much that, but like, I can't be like, you're a fucking loser. Try harder. Because my expectations of what the people that I know can do more, that is my expectation. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
But you're like, dude, I've heard these jokes 10,000 times over the past 10 years. And like everyone that was at this wedding was at his other daughter's wedding. Maybe a couple new faces.
Try harder.
Yeah. Get new material.
You can develop. Well, go through your joke book if you can't come up with something different. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, if you want to bore your audience. For the first time I've been able to like, what's it called? Big time him?
Yeah.
And I was like, or not. Because I can't wait. Well, I'm not rooting against him, but if he walks off and be like, yeah, that was good. Like they do to me when I shit the bed.
They're like, oh, okay.
I think I kind of we're not talking about anything that I would find interesting if I was on the listening end. And I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, guys.
Thanks for choking it down.
I know. We just haven't talked in a while.
I know.
So we're just catching up. Yeah.
Your bank accounts.
I know.
Please don't take that away from me. You've worked so hard to get here.
I know.
And like you haven't had a paycheck and you continue to get paid, but none of which you've been able to spend in the way in which you choose.
Right. I know. I was like, I'm finally just like getting like to have like my full paycheck, my money. Mm-hmm. Like this is a whole new thing for me.
And why now? I feel like now he knows you have a full paycheck and so he can like cash in on it.
Yeah.
It's not to say you're not going to contribute more.
I'll contribute more. Like I'm happy to contribute more. Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you notice we have a new batch? Sorry.
Just come back Thursday. We'll do better.
But boy, do we love you. Yeah. And I want to thank a shout out to one of my favorite listeners, long time listener of the pod. Whatever we call it, honestly. And then he drafted a sick killer backdrop for us.
Oh, mm-hmm.
It was incredible.
It was.
Just whipped it up real quick. Thank you.
We went with this one, but thank you.
We'll use that for other purposes, like when we do tours and like press releases and whatever all the fuck we do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, make sure you follow us. New handle at The Honestly Show on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. and wherever you get your podcasts, The Honestly Show, Apple, Spotify, all the things. Give us a 5-star review. Just be nice, okay? And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.